Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
One of the reasons why I always say the same thing in the very beginning as far as we made it to another Friday is because, like a lot of people in the country, in the world, some people didn't wake up today. Some people won't see another Friday or this past week that happened. In any form that you look at it, whether you look at it as a business where they say this business is not in business, it was in business last week, and this happened to be the last week of their business, they had to close the doors down. Life itself, someone has lived for 60, 70 years and 364 days. And then today, which would have been the 365th, maybe another year for someone, won't happen. Relationships are severed on all fronts. Today, somebody's best friend will become an enemy. Today, somebody's brother and sister will stop speaking forever. Today, somebody will in the morning have said something to someone else that they can't take back by the end of the day. And it will alter the relationship forever. Once again, we talk about a lot of times the power of choice. The power of words. The spoken word carries a lot of power and a lot of weight. A lot of times, we'll say things, and like I tell you guys all the time, we still have a lot of our genes from being children. Even though we're adults now, sometimes we go and revert back to being children versus just keep going. Just keep going. If you notice what I put on the board today, our future is not promised to us. Since the only time we are certain of is today, the question becomes, what do we do with the time we have? And what time is that? Now. This is all you have. You're not promised tomorrow. You're not promised next week. You're not promised next month. You're not promised next year to change things, to do what you always wanted to do. And because of these things that I'm telling you right now, some people choose to be miserable and then make others miserable, versus choosing to be positive and make others happy. You say, well, I'm not happy. Why should you be? That's like sometimes parents say, I went through this, then my children should go through it too. Well, I don't believe that. Not in all cases. But there are some cases where that does apply. We talk about discipline. If we didn't have parents that discipline us, then it's probably difficult for us to discipline children that we have, because we didn't have anybody to show us. But you know the biggest travesty? The biggest travesty is when you had a parent to look at that was disciplined, and we had trouble distinguishing the difference between discipline and just plain mean. A parent blaming a child for their life. Oh, I should have never had you. If I didn't have you, I'd be out playing around. I could do this. I couldn't live because I had to raise you. Parents have said that. I've heard people say that to children. And I just look at them and baffle. How dare you? How dare you look at a child and say, I didn't have a life because I was too busy raising you. Right. It's not like they asked to be here and to be your child in the first place. That's the same thing with friendship, family. If I choose to call you family, it is nothing more than a choice. We weren't born to the same mother. We weren't born to the same father. So, truth of the matter, my blood doesn't run through your veins and your blood doesn't run through mine. There is no correlation there. It is a choice. So if you look at what I wrote at the bottom, instead of trying to find a safe place to land, just keep flying. See, too many of us in this life, I say this, but I know sometimes it doesn't go heard, or it may have been heard, but you're not listening. Sometimes. The more I grow, the easier it is for me to see weakness. The more you grow, the easier it will be to see someone else's weakness. Now, we don't want to just pride on that weakness. We want to try to make it a strength because we do have battles. We have a lot of small battles in the room. Each and every one of us has a little battle every day with something or someone or some people. That won't change unless we change. You choose the battles that you want to face. And some of the battles you leave to someone else. Let them fight those battles. Ultimately, let God fight the battle that you can't win. Most battles that we have, a lot of times they're very, very, very small in comparison to life itself. The easiest thing in this life is to feel sorry for yourself. The easiest thing in this life is to feel like the world is against me, these people are against me, woe is me. I'm going to share a story with you. It's very close to my heart. And I like to use myself a lot of times because I don't really want anybody to feel bad in here, but I want you to understand something. I have a best friend just like most of you guys have. I don't get to see my best friend too often because he lives in DC. But he is my very, very best friend. If you saw him and saw me, it is like opposite. We are opposite, polar opposite of each other. Right, Em?
Yes. Yes.
But I have no friend closer than him. When you come outside of Easy. You know, and him, of course. But there's not much I wouldn't do for this man. And there's not much he wouldn't do for me. And we love each other. He's one of the very few men that I can look at and say I love you before I leave him, and he said he loved me before he leaves me. His parents have become parents to me. One is 100% Italian, the other one is German. Now the reason I specify the cultures for you right now is to get you to understand that there are no boundaries when you use your heart. You only see people. You don't have to see color, you don't have to see race, and even if you do see the colors, that's just because your eyes can differentiate the colors, but that's where it stops. But it's also what makes the world beautiful. Can you imagine what the world would be if everybody looked exactly the same? Can you imagine what it would be for the children that have gone to private schools and had to wear uniforms all the time, to have friends that could wear different clothes all the time, and can you imagine that? Yes, there are pros and cons to both. The one that wears a uniform doesn't have to try to think about what they're going to wear tomorrow. Are these shoes matching the pants, the colors, or, maybe not. But the one who can change clothes can also say, that's part of the beauty of tomorrow. Look at the colors I can wear together. So, Albert Einstein wore the same color suits every single day. In his closet, every suit was exactly the same. But he did that because he didn't want to have to think about what he was going to wear. So, that's just a part of conserving your brain matter. You can't do anything about yesterday. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is the present. And that's why it's a gift. It's a gift to you because it is today and you are here. It's not how the message is given so much as how the message is taken. You decide how a message is taken, how you receive it. If we choose to say the teacher, oh my God, the teacher's just terrible in the way they deliver this, and the way they did that. If the answer is the right answer, and you got the answer, then the teacher did their job. Teacher's job is to teach. Nobody said you had to like the way the lesson went. I'm teaching Brian that now. I don't want to hear about how you don't like certain teachers or how this person's not teaching. Learn the lesson. Because either the teacher's going to teach you or life will. You're not going to be young forever. You're not going to be in a middle school situation forever. You're not. At some point you're going to be in high school and you're going to make me wish you're back in middle school. Then you're going to be out here in the real world, whether college or whatever, and you're going to wish you were under your mother's wing. This is a lesson that I'm trying to teach a child. But it's also a lesson I need to teach adults. There's so many people that won't be given a power of choice, family. We are strong beyond measure. But do you choose to use the strength or do you want to be weak? Be strong. Be positive. Be confident. But be gone. It's just a choice. Because the sweetness that I have in me, the beauty that I have in me, is reflected by sourness and ugliness. Once again, life is about choices. I'm grateful for everything you guys do. Everything. If you do something positive for me, I'm grateful. Grateful. But you gotta have to reflect what it is you do too. If I see something in you, I'm gonna do more. If I see it. If I don't see it, then why should I speak on it? If I'm way harder on myself than I ever will be on any of you. Any of you. But I'm trying to make us strong. You make us strong by giving you thick skin. You have to develop it. But like I said before, jobs come a dime a dozen. Careers come but once. Make your choice. But positivity is still positivity unless you look at it as negativity. It is your choice. Whether I'm a motivational speaker or destructional speaker. But I've never seen my name on a pamphlet that said destructional speaker. Never. I've never seen people say I don't teach people. I've never seen it. Now I've seen people go away from my life because they think they can't live up to what I want them to do. And why are you trying to live up to what I want you to do? Live to your potential, not mine. I had to fight my own sister. She told my family, oh, I can't live up to his standards. I never asked her to live up to my standards. I just asked her to be the best mother she could be. You don't have to give me anything. Take care of your family. Want something more out of life than to be handed something. Somebody walk by and see somebody getting beat up, they have a choice. Some people are going to say, you know what, I don't like this. Stop, guys, stop. Get off of him. Get off him. Or they'd be like, tag. Still a choice. And truth of the matter is, it's still the right choice. Whichever choice it is, it's the right choice for that individual. If it was for that individual to get involved, that's the right choice. If it was for that individual to keep it moving, that's the right choice. They decide to call 911 and tell them about what's going on, that's the right choice. Now, if they jump on the person with the person, that's the wrong choice. Alright? I want you to see something. Attitude reflects leadership. I have the attitude of gratitude. I'm gratified in the fact I have a company. I have a team. I don't have to do everything alone. I know what that felt like. I know what it felt like to do everything alone. I know what it felt like to sleep in a car alone. I know what it felt like to train alone. I know what it felt like to get awards alone. And people truly, almost sarcastically cheering, but subconsciously wanting to see me fail. I got to see the eyes, and I can show you those tapes too, just like I'm showing you this, where I can point out people in the audience, and you can look at their face and see anguish as they clap for me. I witnessed this. This is who leads you. Your job, truly, is to understand the leader. Just as my job is to understand you. But my job truly is to motivate you and then to inspire you. That's what I really want. If you know me, you know I'd rather inspire you than motivate you anyway. Because if I have to motivate you, then I have to do this every day. And I can't do this every day and grow. If I have to take care of something that I thought you took care of, then I can't take care of what it is that you need me to take care of, that you won't be able to do, and so on and so forth. If there's somebody that you guys expected me to call, I can't wait for you to call them. I have to call them because you expect me to do that. You expect me to handle certain things that you're really not comfortable handling. Then allow me to expect you to grow. Grow. Because the only way you stop growing is if you stop living. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you stop growing, you stop living. And you're only existing. There's just something in me that will not allow me to accept a weakness in you. It won't. I'm sorry. I even try. I even say, okay, I need to be a little nicer. Niceness is not going to get you where you need to be. Niceness has got you where you are now. Wherever it is you are now that you don't like is generally because you're nice. And you allow the world to be mean. The world will trample you. So the training today, the mental part of this, is develop thick skin. Remember, each and every one of you in here, at some time told me to put my foot in your behind. Don't you ever forget that you asked for this. You asked for me to make you stronger, no matter what it takes, by any means necessary. All of you, at some point, asked me to do this. Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Not one clip here was easy, was it?
Nope.
Not one clip you saw. I don't know it was a movie. It's inspirational. Some were built off of real life stories. Remember, the Titans was up in Maryland, up in the Northern Virginia area.
Yep.
That's real. That was real.
All of those are real.
Yeah, all of this is real. There is no triumph without adversity. And if you don't go through adversity, there will be no triumph for you in this life. You don't know what's after this life, but you do know what life you have now. You can change it, or you can lay in the mud and muck. But it is your choice. I choose not to. It is one of the hardest things for me, y'all, was to separate myself from my family. My sister, my brother, my other sister, their families. That was hard. That was difficult because they still live. We don't speak. Me and my closest sister haven't spoken since July 12, 2012. That was her birthday. And if I can cut them out of my life, people that I don't want out of my life, and move on and grow from it, I promise you, people that I haven't known long, I can easily do that. You can be replaced. I choose not to. Just as you choose to come in here, I choose to train you. I don't need reminding of it either. I know everything that I do is a choice. But let's look at the choices that I've made before we speak on them. My goal is to make your life better. I wonder if it's the same.